Trump's big, beautiful bill narrowly passed last week by the Senate and the House, with the president signing the bill into law on Friday afternoon. Analysts say the bill will create an additional deficit of $22 trillion over the next 10 years. One of the highlights is the termination of clean vehicle credit for vehicles registered after 30th September 2025. Elon won't be particularly happy about that. In fact, he's claimed to have formed his own political party, the America Party. The US government is under pressure maintaining long debt commitments. Long bonds are being sold off, the dollar is falling, but for the moment the demand for US treasuries is still there, apparently. High inflation has not arrived as economists expected. This tariff pass-through delay can be explained due to three main reasons. Firstly, the slow economy and low demand means that corporations are cautious to raise prices in a cooling market. Secondly, there was major stockpiling of goods in anticipation of the tariffs. Thirdly, some goods have managed to fall in price, most likely as viable domestic substitutes see an opportunity to sway customers to switch local. That being said, CPI is expected to rise slightly to 3 to 3.5% later this year, and core PCE, the preferred metric by the Fed, is expected to raise to 3.5%. However, the Fed is cautious to lower rates, especially as some tariffs are expected to return very soon on the 9th of July. Now, bear in mind that monetary policy takes 12 months to take effect, and by that time, inflation could have come and gone. Economists expect that tariffs should be viewed as a step change in prices rather than enduring higher inflation. Now, China has been and is expected to receive the biggest tariffs, but I mentioned in the last update that China is holding an ace or two up its sleeves, and the US knows this. One ace they hold is the control of the supply in rare earth metals. China controls 70% of the rare earth mines, but more crucially, they dominate the processing of these raw materials into these highly demanded metals. Without rare earth, some factories stated they would become idle within a month. China previously reduced a supply to the US and then offered a 6-month license resuming supply, but this license is due to expire soon. As a side note, Trump recently completed a trade deal with Vietnam, the 8th largest trading partner with the US. Vietnamese imports into the US are now incurring a 20% tariff, up from 9.4%, whilst US exports to Vietnam are tariff-free. If goods are found to be transshipped from China via Vietnam into the US, a 40% tariff will be applied. We'll see how China will react to this trade deal. Overall, the Fed, whilst reluctant to lower rates immediately, are expected to lower rates twice this year. From my point of view, I'm expecting a probable market downturn as more uncertainty enters the picture, and thus I'm taking more money off the table, locking in solid gains and holding more cash in client portfolios.